guys, and welcome back to another video. Today I'll be teaching you guys how to paint a watercolor cow. So let's start. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to start at the top of the paper, and we are going to draw a curve for the top of the cow's head. We're just going to draw a nice curve and come down a little like this, like so. And then what we're going to do is we're going to come out and draw a nice curve for an ear. We're going to be drawing only half of the cow's face. So the ear will be coming out here, and then another curve to connect at the bottom. After that, what we're going to do is we are going to start at this little point where we ended off on the ear, and we're going to come down and start shaping out the cow's actual face. So we come down, it's starting to go in towards the end of our paper. So it's coming in. We're going to draw a few bumps. So we're going to draw one bump, another bump. We're going to come all the way in and leave a little bump at the end, like so. And then we're going to start at the top of the bump, the first bump we drew, and give our cow a body. So we finished the outline of our cow, so now we have to fill in all the details in the cow. So let's start with the ear, and we're gonna start just doing some details. So we're gonna draw the inner parts of the ear, which is basically this entire shape but smaller and inside the ear. So we're just going to draw the same shape we drew for the ear, but a little smaller, like so. You can even connect them at the bottom, like this. We're going to come in and start drawing the eye. So the eye is going to come a little bit under the ear, so I'm going to draw my eye right over here, and it's more to the side of the face. We're going to start with the curve. It's going to come down like this, and then it comes back up. It's kind of like a lemon shape. If you think about it, it kind of looks like a lemon, like so. And you can add a little bit of like an eye twinkle in the cow's eye. So I'm just gonna draw a little circle right here, like that. So now we're gonna go ahead and move on to the cow's mouth. So the top of our nose comes around the top of the first bump. So we're gonna start by drawing a straight line like this. And then it comes down at this little part where the bumps go in. So that's where our cow nose is going to come down, like this. And the mouth comes at the bottom of that bump, right here. So we're going to give our cow a little smile, like that. And it doesn't look too realistic right now. So what I'm going to do is, instead of making this a straight line, I'm actually going to curve this a little. So I'm going to curve that line to make it look more realistic. So I curved that top part a little more, and I'm going to come in and fix the mouth, make it a little smaller, like so. And I'm also going to make this line right here a little thicker to show that the cow is kind of opening his mouth. So we're going to make this a little thicker right underneath the nose, like that. So now let's start adding details to the nose, like the nostrils. And how we're going to do that is we're going to come from the top. So I'm starting at the top of my nose, and I'm going to draw a little curved line like this. I'm going to do the same thing on the other side, except this one will be more off to the side since our cow is only showing half of its head. So it's a little off to the side. It's also coming down like this. And then I'm going to give it a shape, so I'm going to connect that to the top, giving our cow some nostrils. We'll make this one that. And once we have our nose details done, we can come in and start giving our cow a few spots, as most cows have. So I'm going to just do a little outline of a big patch I want for my baby cow. Since it's a little baby, it's not going to have as many spots, so I'm going to make a nice big patch on its head where I'm not going to put that much color when I come in with my watercolors. So it's a random little patch. I'm going to draw some spots, some fun shapes. I'm going to do the same thing to the body. I'm going to draw a spot right here. I'm just going to come in with a fun shape. I'm going to do the same thing on the side. Just a few fun shapes for my cow. And that is the drawing process. Before I move on to my watercolors, I'm going to take a kneading eraser and I'm going to lighten up my cow. So I'm going to lighten up my sketch so the watercolor paints won't show through. So it's going to look really light on camera. I am now going to dip my watercolor brush in some water. And I'm going to take a nice brown on my palette. So I'm going to be using this one right here. So I'm going to take this brown. Make sure to dip off the excess water on my towel. And I'm going to start painting the cow. So I'm going to make sure I'm painting inside the lines and I'm not going into that patch I drew earlier because I want to leave that white. So I'm going to start painting the cow with this brown color. Starting with the face. We're not going to do that much detail right now. This is our base coat for the cow. I went in and I painted over everything and saved the areas that I wish to be kept white, like the patches, the ears, the nose, the eye. I did everything, and we're gonna let that sit out and dry for a while. So I waited a while and most of the cow is dry now. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go take a darker shade of brown. So I'm taking a little bit of a darker shade of brown and mixing it with the previous shade of brown I used. And I'm gonna come in and do some shading for my cow because it's looking a little bit flat right now. So I'm gonna do some shading right underneath the mouth. So I'm gonna do some shading right here. I'm gonna go ahead and use a little bit more of a darker color because there's a lot of shading underneath the mouth. And then I'm gonna go ahead and blend this out with some water. Take that dark shade of brown again, and I'm gonna come in and paint and put that shading right where the face and body meet. So on the side right here, put some shading here, and I'm gonna do some right on the side of our cow, right there. I'm gonna blend that out with some water. Now I'm going to do some shading on the head. So I'm going to take the dark shade of brown again, and I'm going to start putting this on the top of the head. So do some shading up here. I'm gonna come in with that really dark shade again, and there's a lot of shading right near the ear right here, so I'm gonna put a ton of dark color there, and I'm also going to actually put some more dark color right here. I'm gonna shade that and blend that in with the water again. Like so. And I'm also going to shade a little on the side of the face right here. Like that. So now I have a little bit of shading on the cow, and I'm going to actually come in and spread this color out a little with some water. Now I'm going to come in and start painting a few of the details. So I'm going to paint the inner part of this ear. So I'm going to take a nice light pink in my palette. I'm going to put that in my ear so it's really pale. So it kind of matches the color scheme in this, because I don't want any bright colors. I'm going to go with some pale colors. And then for a little bit of shading, I'm going to take a darker pink. This is a little bright. And I'm going to blend that out. So for the nose, I'm going to use that same pale pink color that we were using before. I'm going to come in and I'm going to start painting everything. I'm going to leave the nostrils white for now. So I'm going to start painting the entire nose. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a light brown color. And I'm going to place this at the bottom of the nose just for some little bit of shading. And this is going to come up. So I place it at the bottom of the nose, not the mouth. I'm going to blend this up. I'm actually also going to put a little bit of this brown into the ear as well and blend that out with some water. I'm going to take a yellow color and I'm going to mix that a little with the brown. Take it a gold color and I'm going to use that on the mouth. So the mouth has a bit of a yellow tint to it, so I'm going to use that color and I'm going to blend it out a bit using some water so it's not too overpowering. Like I said, we're using mostly neutral colors for this cow, this color scheme. So I'm actually going to use a little of that yellow-brown mixture on the nose as well. I'm now going to use a really dark brown, and I'm going to come in and start filling in the nostrils with that brown. So I'm using a nice dark brown color. I'm going to start filling in the nostrils. While I'm letting that dry, I'm going to use that same dark brown, and I'm going to start adding some shading right underneath the mouth, or the nose, just to give it a little bit of shading onto the mouth. So I'm just coming in with that dark brown, going underneath the mouth like this, and I'm going to come in and shade that in, or blend that in with some water. Now I'm going to go ahead and start shading in all the patches I've laid out. So I'm going to be taking a light gray color on my palette. Took a nice light gray, and I'm going to start coming in. A little bit of more gray. I'm going to start shading little patches, and I don't want a lot of gray, so I'm going to make sure I'm blending everything out. So I'm going to make sure this is all blended out. I don't want too much. So now once we finish shading and everything, we can go ahead and start adding some fur to our cow to make it look a little fluffier. I'm taking a smaller watercolor brush with a more finer tip, and I'm going to dip that in some of that brown color that we use for the base of the cow. So I'm taking a super thin brush, and I'm going to dip that in some of that brown we use for the cow, and I'm going to start adding a few hairs really carefully. So I'm going to start at the ear, and your cow should be dry so it'd be easier for you to do all these hairs. So I'm doing just a few hairs. Dip a little water. So I'm doing a few hairs underneath the ear as well, just to give it a more fluffier look. So I'm going to take that and I'm going to do it all around the ear. So once you finish up adding all of the fur, we can finish off by doing the eye. So I'm going to come in with a black. So I'm going to take some black and I'm going to carefully color in the eye. I'm going to make sure I'm leaving a spot for a little eye shiny, like a little twinkle. Leave a little white spot right there. And color the rest of the eye with black paint. And then you can go ahead and take a dark brown and give the cow a few eyelashes. And we're done. So this is the finished cow. And then you can go ahead and sign your name right at the bottom. Thank you guys for watching and following along to this cow watercolor tutorial, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye!